From MLB DFS podcast with hosts John Impemba and James Grande.
What is going on, everybody? John Impemba here with Dan Servodidio, bringing you the Better Baseball MLB DFS Playbook live show here, breaking down Wednesday's 7-game main slate. Servo coming off the Better Sports betting show. I did the Cookout Fantasy Football show earlier today, so you and I have been a little bit busy on the day, but we can get together here to talk a little baseball DFS slate.
Yeah, I'm ready to flip the brain waves over to baseball. You and me and everyone at Fantasy Alarm are all locked into football, obviously, but we still got baseball games going on. There was like some afternoon action I was checking out earlier today, so it's nice to have some live sports, and it's good to have baseball on the schedule.
Got the Roto Fantasy Baseball League that I'm in still rolling. Got a Nolan Jones home run today, which is nice, So
there you go.
Something to keep you following along with the baseball brain while we're waiting for the football Thursday, Sunday, Monday, come around and absorb our lives here.
Yeah.
So, like I said, we got 7 games on tonight's slate. One game is in trouble with weather. I live just outside the city of Boston. I'm looking outside my window. It is dark. It's cloudy. It's been raining all day. And we're expected to get some pretty bad storms at some point during today. Now, if you go look at the latest weather report by our guy Kevin Roth there, he thinks that there's a chance that this game only gets hit by a little bit of the rain. The storm might stay west of the stadium. But if the rain does go over to the stadium, this is probably going to end up being a washout. So, he is expecting a late start in play. Mm-hmm. We'll have to wait and see. But just know that there is going to be some inherited risk here with the Yankees-Red Sox game for those who are looking. Everything else should be good. Arizona and New York is another game that could see some rain, but he's expecting most of that to be cleared out before first pitch. So, really just one game on the 7-gamer that we're worried about when it comes to weather. Before we jump into breaking down tonight's DFS main slate, I give a shout out to our friends over at RT Sports. Right now, if you go to rtsports.com/alarm and use promo code alarm23, new users will get a 100% deposit match with their first deposit. You can go ahead and use that deposit match in their DFS pick'em games or their daily DFS contests that they have as well for both baseball and for football each week. So go check it out at rtsports.com and use promo code alarm23 with your first deposit. It's time for our RT Sports DFS picks of the day. Taking a look at the RT Sports DFS pick'em board here. Dan, you're coming off the Better Sports betting show, so I'm sure you have a couple of player props maybe you're taking a look at for today's slate. Where are we going?
Yeah, my top one is Ryan Mountcastle over 1.5 total bases. Not on the main DFS slate, but it is there, 6:35 Eastern first pitch. But I think Mountcastle, we know he crushes left-handed pitching, absolutely smashes. He's got a lefty, Drew Rom, on the mound for St. Louis. So I'm just looking to target him, go over that 1.5. The other one I do like is if this game gets played, you got to always keep track. It's in the Yankees-Red Sox game. Clark Schmidt over 4.5 strikeouts. Red Sox have been striking out a ton, almost like a 30% strikeout rate versus right-handed pitching over the past 2 weeks. So I think Schmidt can have some strikeout success there.
I agree with you. I think those are both the pretty good plays. I'm going to go with one play that I feel good about for DFS tonight, but I might, it's been a shaky season for Mr. Mike Clevenger here, but lately the strikeout numbers have actually looked pretty decent. We know Kansas City's recent run have been a little bit down here. So 6 strikeouts for Clevenger, a number that he's gone over a handful of times lately against a KC team that does strike out a lot, is where I'm going to go. So we got a 3-pick play here for tonight's RT Sports DFS pick'em. We have Ryan Mountcastle, more than 1.5 total bases, Clark Schmidt, more than 4.5 strikeouts, and Mike Clevenger, more than 6 strikeouts tonight. You can go 6x your money at RT Sports. Remember, go to rtsports.com/alarm, promo code alarm23. New users will get that 100% deposit match with their first deposit. All right, taking a look now at the main event of the evening. That is going to be the DraftKings main slate here. 7 games on tap, as we discussed. Servo, why don't you take it away here? Spreads, totals you were looking at maybe earlier today?
At first glance, the Oakland Astros game, Oakland's offense has been a little feisty lately, and I feel like this game could be one of the higher scoring. Obviously, the Astros offense in play there. Blackburn, I don't think, is going to hold them down too much. But the other side, Hunter Brown has been a little shaky,
Yes.
very shaky since like the All-Star break.
Not a good second half for the rookie.
No, he's hit a real rough patch. So in his rookie season, so I think that game could be like a sneaky over. If you want to look at that, the Marlins Brewers game is one of those lower scoring totals. So like offenses on both sides probably staying mostly away for DFS. The Dodgers Padres game could be sneaky high scoring late night if you want to look at that one, and kind of like it's only late night game on the slate too, which makes it interesting.
Yeah, that little late night hammer, as myself and Jim Friday like to call it. So yeah, good calls there for sure. Let's take a look at the pitching. You have Blake Snell on the road against the Dodgers, Zach Gallen here against the Mets, Ryan Pepio going up against San Diego, and Yusei Kikuchi against Texas, Montgomery against Toronto, kind of like your top 5 starters here. Do you find yourself looking to spend all the way up? I mean, Blake Snell's not in a great spot. Zach Gallen, where are you feeling yourself going at pitching tonight?
I know Snell has been he's been putting up the numbers, game to game, start to start. But I do think on the road at the Dodgers is a tough spot for him. And his walks are just so worrisome to me.
Yeah.
And and Dodgers are a lineup, they can make you pay if he walks multiple guys again, which he's been doing basically every start.
Every start. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. 7 walks, 5 walks, 4, 4, 4, 2, 2, 5, 3, 4.
So he's been getting the numbers, he's been getting wins, which is helpful in DFS, but I'd probably stay away. Maybe GPPs obviously, but I feel like Gallen's going to be the popular pay up pitcher. Should have a really good outing against the Mets, even though it's on the road.
Yeah, and I think that's what we'll see a lot of people go when it comes to sort of spending up today as well. And again, you're looking at the matchups that you're trying to take advantage of here. Yeah. Looking at the DraftKings main slate when it comes to rostership percentages, and you have to kind of figure out, all right, what pitcher is going to get the draw. Gallen is actually the second highest projected starting pitcher. Maybe not surprising because this is the case every slate. Hunter Brown is projected to get over 40% of the rostership tonight.
I guess because he's cheaper, he's so much cheaper. But like I said, listen, I gave out the Athletics team total on the Better Sports Betting Show because they've been feisty, and they against right-handed pitching, they're in like the top 10 of a lot of categories over the past 2 weeks. So this is a tough spot, and Brown's had some blow-ups. He's allowed 5+ runs, and I think 5 of his last 6 starts or 4 of the last 6 starts. I wouldn't trust him, even though obviously, on paper you're like, all right, against the A's at home. But
we were both winners yesterday on the Better Sports Betting Show. You had the A's team total, the game total.
I had the over. I think it missed by 1 run though.
I thought so. My apologies, and I thought you had the A's total because I had the Verlander over 18.5 outs. He went the 7 innings, but he gave up 5. So to your point.
I should have given out the A's team total. I went with the full game team total, thinking that the Astros would put up runs too, but they only scored 2 runs, I think.
I know. So again, to your point, they're getting the righties. They're hitting. They just scored 5, as I mentioned during the RT Sports DFS segment. Mike Clevenger's coming in at third, almost 30% tonight. Recent form of his has been pretty good. Again, Detroit sure got lit, but Detroit was good here. Against Oakland, he was good. Against Chicago, he was good. 4 of the last 6 starts for him have been really good. Kansas City's been struggling a little bit. I could see Clevenger at home tonight at $7,900.
Yeah, I could see him with the strikeout upside though. Is there for sure. Braxton Garrett is another guy I would consider. I know he's had some rough outings, but I think the Brewers against lefties has been a good spot to target overall this year. So that's a sneaky one. Probably goes overlooked too on this slate.
Yeah.
I mentioned Clark Schmidt when we did the RT Sports thing. I just think he has, if that game gets played, so that is a legit rain out concern. But if that game gets played, I do think he's got strikeout upside because he's had at least 5 or at least 6 strikeouts in 3 of his last 4 starts. Yeah. The Red Sox offense, as I said, is striking out a lot against right-handed pitching. I think like 5 of the last like traditional starters, right-handed starters they've faced have all had 6+ strikeouts. I think the Yankees are live to win that game too, so he could get the win. The other thing with him, though, if you kind of look back at what the Yankees have been doing lately, so they just played a doubleheader yesterday.
Yeah.
They had a doubleheader on Sunday. They've used a ton of relievers, a ton of arms in that bullpen over these past few days. They were off on Monday with a rainout, but still with the doubleheader yesterday, I feel like they're going to be looking for Schmidt to go, maybe into the 7th inning, which is obviously helpful for DFS too, and a strikeout upside.
Yes, I think the strikeouts could be there. I do worry a little bit because he is absolutely dreadful against left-handed hitting. And the Red Sox generally are going to throw a lot of lefties at you. They have Verdugo, Yoshida, Devers, Casas, Reese McGuire is a lefty, like a Weiler Abreu is a lefty. So they could probably throw it a lineup at 7 lefties tonight. Last 5 starts for Clark Schmidt against lefties, 519 slug, 380 WOBA, 365 batting average, 13 runs allowed, 19 hits, and then just on the season, 374 WOBA, 500 slug, 301 batting average allowed to lefties. So it is not a great matchup for him against left-handed hitters. The Red Sox are just going to load that lineup with lefty bats. But to your point, he could also just be a guy that they're like, hey, Clark, we need you to fall on your sword today. We don't have a bullpen, and you go out there and you pitch through it anyways, and he just accumulates the strikeouts. To that point, though, against lefties during that stretch, 21% strikeout rate. It's not great, but it's not awful, So you could find yourself getting, though, as you say, 4.5 was the prop on him today. So he can maybe get 4 or 5. I just worry from a DFS standpoint, if the Red Sox do throw all those lefties at him, that in Fenway he could be in some trouble.
He could be. I do concede that. He did face Boston about a month ago and had 21 DraftKings points. That was without a win too. So had 8 strikeouts in that game too.
Yeah, big upside potentially for him. That was in Yankee Stadium, you said, right?
Yeah, he did face the Red Sox on the road in June. Only had 7 DraftKings points. So.
Yeah. So the home road splits for Clark Schmidt there is away 3.94 versus a 5.29. So
risky play, right? But he's in that mid range. If you want to fade Brown, you can go with whatever it's Clevenger, Schmidt.
Yeah, Clevenger and Schmidt there. Yeah, I'm just kind of seeing like where's the pitching coming from here today? Where maybe people are looking to get in. Yusei Kikuchi seems like a popular play tonight, which is kind of surprising. Again, running, against Texas isn't always the most fruitful experience for pitching, but I feel like I'm a little surprised that Pepio isn't getting more looks at $8,900.
Yeah, I do think like the Padres offense is just so inconsistent. Like he could be a solid starter tonight, and
he's been great. Like he's only allowed 2 total earned runs in his 5 appearances. Now he's faced Miami, Arizona, Cleveland. This is certainly going to be, skill wise, at least talent wise, it might be his toughest matchup. But he's coming in at under 5% tonight. So
I think it's also probably baked into him being like more expensive than if people are going Hunter Brown. People
sure,
are probably
definitely
are looking right past Pepio, and also like he is facing Snell. So like if you think Snell can get can anchor the Padres to the win tonight, then you kind of like take away if you take away a win for Pepio, then his upside goes down a bit, but I could see that going either way. He could easily get the win. He's been really good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 2 earned total runs allowed, and since being called up here, if I read, didn't Toronto also struggle against left-handed pitching this year? Am I making that up?
Yes.
I'm making that up completely. They've been really good against lefties.
Oh, they have been really good. Okay.
Yeah.
Lately,
it's the other way around. It's the other way around. Yeah, last 30 days they are 356 WOBA.
Oh, okay.
16% strikeout rate the last 30 days. So they've been, David Schneider probably having a lot to do with that improvement. That guy has been hammering lefties here. Is it righties then that they've been pretty bad against this year? I know there was a specific split that Toronto.
It might have been righties.
was struggling. Yeah, righty is a little bit worse. 250 average on the year. So
I think they have a righty heavy lineup. So
so nobody was on Montgomery today. I was seeing where that was maybe going. Obviously, he's certainly also struggled a bit of late, but Rangers offense, Blue Jays offense feels like more people are leaning the Kikuchi realm here. So that's a look at pitching. Again, just sort of to recap, the field is getting to Hunter Brown. You and I are not really in on Hunter Brown, so it feels like on a smaller slate like this, a pretty good spot to be different. Maybe not necessarily saying to go out there and play Oakland, but might be a spot to play Oakland if 50% of the field is on Hunter Brown, and this man's got like a 8 ERA since the All-Star break. So, could be willing to go against him here. Let's move on over to catcher. We do have some people in chat. Mark in there. Hey, Mark, what's going on? Perfect game through 6 in his last out. Was that Schmidt?
That was Pepio.
Pepio, right. So, no one's on him, under 5%. So if you're telling me that 50% is playing Hunter Brown and 5% is playing Ryan Pepio, I'm gonna play the Ryan Pepio. So that's the way I'm going about it. Catcher here tonight. Again, William Contreras hits lefties pretty well, so I don't mind going there against Garrett if you're looking to spend up. Alejandro Kirk against Montgomery. I guess we just looked at the numbers. Toronto hitting really well against lefties. Feels like a pretty good spot at $3,200 to get some action into your lineup there.
Yeah, I'm also looking, if you want to go further down, Shea Langeliers hitting 5th in that Oakland lineup. We're just talking about fading Brown. If you want to go, getting a 5-hole hitter, he's had some pop. He's got 3 home runs in his last 4 games. Homered again yesterday too.
Yeah, this is actually a grande special because he hits righties better than lefties despite being a righty. So usually we look at these platoon splits. Langeliers on the year has 15 homers against right-handed pitching, a 216 ISO. Now, again, he doesn't have like the most stellar numbers in general, but versus lefties, it's only a 150 ISO. So a 60-point ISO bump against right-handed pitching for Shea Langeliers. So we've talked about the struggles. $2,700 if you're gonna get an stack tonight. This will certainly be a pretty interesting spot, hitting 5, like you mentioned. Some other value plays again. Reese McGuire, 2,200 lefty against Clark Schmidt. Sebi Zavala is now on the Arizona Diamondbacks. They got rid of Carson Kelly. Gabriel Moreno's on the paternity leave right now. So, Sebi against Lucchesi, had a home run within the last 10 games for himself there. A guy that hit lefties okay when he was with the White Sox. So just a couple of punt options, but I like the Langeliers call just because we are so anti Hunter Brown today.
Yeah, and I feel like I would rather punt on catcher today and pay up elsewhere rather than go to Contreras or Will Smith for that matter.
Mm-hmm. I'm pulling up some Hunter Brown stats. Who is what he's at the last 30 days? Again, they haven't been He hasn't been good, so I can't imagine one way or the other. But let's see, last 30 days, fans had 5 starts for him. 403 WOBA allowed, 553 slug in general, 850 ERA over his last 5 starts.
Yeah.
Not good. Righties. Oof, even better for Shea Langeliers. Righties against Hunter Brown over the last 5 starts. 652 slug, 348 batting average, 456 weighted on base percentage, doing pretty much all of the damage there. Lefties only a 267 average with a 320 WOBA. So we are hunting righties against Hunter Brown here on this slate. So Langeliers for sure. We'll get the second base because there's a second baseman on Oakland that has been pretty good this year that we'll probably be looking to target as well. First base position, if you're looking to spend up, I think Christian Walker and Tristan Casas are the 2 I'm going for. Walker against Lucchesi. And then if this Boston game plays, I already mentioned the numbers for Clark Schmidt against lefties. And Tristan Casas, since the All-Star break, has been one of the best hitters in all of baseball. Never mind just lately. So those are the 2 I initially gravitated towards at first base.
Yeah, I like the Walker call for sure. I mean, that guy has been I always like playing him against lefties, so that's a good call. I mean, going right back to the athletics stack. I know he's a lefty, but Ryan Noda at 2,900 is interesting. He's got 10, 14, 11 DK points in his last 3 games. Has been hitting well. So I guess Brown is better against left-handed pitching, but the 3-hole hitter, pretty cheap. Probably the cheapest 3-hole hitter. Obviously, it is on the slate.
Yeah, Rochester pretty spread out at first base here as well. Andrew Vaughn is actually your projected highest rostered first baseman here tonight. Again, late numbers for him: 278, 825, has 2 homers over the last 10. We got Alec Marsh as the long man here for KC. We know how bad he's been. And then after Vaughn is Tristan Casas. Again, that game has some potential rain issues, but he is the other guy over 10%. And then after that is basically like a 9 to 6% range for 7 different guys. So close your eyes and throw a dart at first base if you're not playing Vaughn or Casas tonight. And I already said if I am not playing Casas, I'm going Christian Walker. So
the other name I'll throw out as a cheap, maybe GPP dart is Jerkson Profar, which I think he should be in the lineup against a righty tonight.
Sure.
But he's now he's back on the Padres.
Back on the Padres, yeah.
He's actually been solid. He's actually kind of hitting for them. So
DraftKings was just able to restock the old photo they have of him and just throw him
right.
There,
So first base or outfield eligible too, if you want to throw him in the outfield spot.
Sure. Moving on over to second base, like I mentioned to you, Zach Geloff was the second baseman I was alluding to. Righty, 286, 800 OPS the last 10. Cooled off for a bit, spun it right back around, started to heat up. And he is somebody that was hitting righties pretty well here since his call-up. So if we're staying true to our Oakland potential stacks here tonight, knowing that Hunter Brown has his struggles against right-handed pitching, right-handed hitting, rather, could be the spot. Geloff against righties hitting 297 with a 324 isolated power against right-handed pitching this year.
Yeah, I love that play too. I mean, he's been hitting well too lately. Had another 2 hits, 2 runs last night against the Astros, against Verlander. So I like Ketel Marte, 4,800 is a good play. If you want, especially if you're playing Christian Walker, you want to try to do a little Diamondback stack.
100%.
He's been good, and going against Lucchesi for the Mets.
Yep, I'm with you there. Unfortunately, the Red Sox sent down Emmanuel Valdez. He was the guy that I was all about for Clark Schmidt here tonight. Lefty bat, again, power, and they activated Pablo Reyes, and then they sent Valdez back to AAA. So unfortunate. We don't even have Reyes in the lineup. They have Luis Urias at $2,100, but that's a righty spot, so no one that I'm going to be looking to go for. To me, it just feels like a position where I'm looking to spend up. I'm going to play Geloff. I'll play Ketel Marte. You can get Mookie Betts in your outfield today, so you don't have to feel forced into playing him. And then if you wanted to go Davis Schneider, like we mentioned, his numbers against left-handed pitching this year have been pretty ridiculous for a guy that, long odds of getting called up. And all of a sudden now he is here and he is just kind of dominating. So against left-handed pitching on the year, Schneider is hitting now Fangraphs doesn't want to work for me. I'm in a delay here. I was all ready to go, and now it's just not pulling up. Just trust me when I say that he hits lefties. To pull it when he hits lefties well, because it's not giving me the information that I needed here. So $5,200. If you want to go Toronto stack, it can be it. But Geloff and Marte are my 2.
Davis Schneider versus lefties. He's hitting 364, 970 slug. That's crazy. 606 ISO against lefties.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
No, dude, smokes them.
I didn't realize it was that good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's why I was trying to pull it up. I realized why I was struggling. I was looking at his pitching stats. It's not a pitcher, so it wasn't going to pull up. Wasn't going to pull up anything for me. As a hitter against left-handed pitching, though, those are his overall numbers: 606 ISO, 582 weighted on base. But it's even good. It's consistently good. If you want to just go over his last 30 days, it's the same thing: 585, 667. So his first 20 games against lefties and his most recent 20 games against lefties still as good as ever. So Schneider is a menace against Southpaws here.
I know he's been good, but I think it's also very telling that he's hitting cleanup for the Blue Jays at this point. Like he's one of their best hitters.
He came out of nowhere. He's like a 27th round draft pick too. Like 28th round draft pick. Guy came out of absolutely nowhere. 25-year-old made his debut, hit his way onto the team, and has done nothing but hit since.
He hit a home run yesterday.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, it's crazy. I don't think I'm getting there unless I'm doing a Toronto stack, but don't sleep on the numbers against lefties for him. Third base position. Again, I like Devers a lot. If this game plays, I would want to go there. Otherwise, you're got to find yourself some value. Longo hasn't been great, but it is against a lefty. Monasterio is leading off against Garrett. That's a little appealing as well. Where are you thinking at third base tonight?
It's kind of tough. Third base is kind of an ugly position. I mean, maybe cheap if you want to go. Where was I looking? Rosario for the Padres also just got called up into their lineup. Hit a home run 2 games ago. If he's in the lineup against Pepio, he might not be though. But like that's a cheap one to look at. I don't know. Third base is kind of ugly.
Like I said, Monasterio is leading off. He's hitting 360 with a 920. I might just plug if I'm not looking to spend up at third. Like I think that might be where I go.
Yeah. I'd probably rather spend up, but I do like that call. The Monasterio. I mean, when you get a leadoff hitter like that cheap at third base too, because it's not usually you get a third baseman that's leading off. So
yeah, 100%. And you're going Toronto stack. I guess Santiago Espinal is also hitting the ball pretty well lately. It hasn't been great this year, but he is hitting 6. You get a little Davis Schneider, Santiago Espinal stack. I don't know, if that floats your boat, but I'd rather the Monasterio Devers play.
If you checked out the MLB DFS playbook that's up right now, Henry Wilson has it today, and one name he throws out there for third base, Josh Donaldson, now on the Brewers. And has actually, he homered yesterday, has actually shown some life. And now he's with the Brewers hitting 5th in that lineup. I mean, why not? People probably just look past him. But
he definitely still has power, right? He's kind of an all or nothing power guy at this moment, but a 900 OPS over the last 10 games for him could definitely play for sure. Yeah. At shortstop, you have Seager. I like Clevenger tonight, so probably can't go to my guy Bobby Witt. Even though he's been better of late. Bichette gets Montgomery again. If you want to go with Toronto, he's a spend up play for you. But this is another position where not a ton. I was actually looking at John Lawler on the show last night. $2,300 shortstop hitting 2nd against Joey Lucchesi.
Wow. Yeah.
I know he hasn't been good since being called up, but it's only been 4 games. And this guy is an immense talent. He's one of the top prospects in all of baseball. This one helps you spend up for Mookie in the outfield today. So I was kind of just plug and playing Lawler tonight.
Yeah, that's a really good cheap option. The other one, if you didn't want to go to him, is another cheap one is Miguel Rojas. I think should be in the lineup for the Dodgers.
Yeah, against lefties.
Yeah, against lefties. He's been, showing some life when he is in the lineup there. He's been a decent option.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, outfield. As I mentioned, there's some values we've discussed on this slate. So getting to Mookie Betts in the outfield against Snell shouldn't be difficult. I don't know how many people are going to be playing Mookie tonight because the ownership on Snell is like 20-25%. So if Mookie gives you a Mookie-type performance, like he did here against Padres, then you're going to be sitting pretty with a low-rostered home run on your lineup. How are you feeling, though, going against Blake Snell tonight, though?
I mean, Blake Snell he's been good, obviously, but like I said, the walk issues are definitely still there and a worry. Mookie Betts could easily walk and come around to score, or he could hit in whoever has just walked in front of him. Right. So I think, and it's obviously Mookie, and I think people probably fading him if they are playing Snell and rather going to, Alvarez, Tatis, Tucker.
Yeah, Tucker and Alvarez are your top 2 projected rostered outfielders. Yeah. So people getting to Houston duo here against Blackburn.
Yeah, which I mean, I don't mind that either. If you have room to pay up for one or two of these guys.
Yeah.
I know
The
we like
weather's
playing Tucker and Alvarez against lefties, but they can still get it done against righties.
100%. The weather definitely seems to be scaring off some people from the Red Sox. Again, you have Yoshida and Verdugo under 10%. Do they have Weiler playing tonight? Let's see. Weiler, he is hitting fifth tonight too, $2,800. He's under 5% tonight. So again, you're in on the if you think this game plays, and we'll get an updated weather report. Obviously, going into roster lock here for everybody. But if you think that this game ends up playing, you're going to have the Red Sox all under 10% here in a spot where I know. Again, you've talked, the strikeout potential, but just those numbers for Schmidt against lefties are so bad.
Yeah,
it could be an interesting contrarian play tonight going Boston with everybody sort of fading that game, just figuring it's going to get rained out. So
yeah, I mean, it could be delayed for like an hour or two, but they ended up playing the full game. I mean, could happen.
Could definitely. Where you also you're looking at the outfield?
Well, I got to throw out the Oakland if you're looking at these Oakland bats. Because there's a lot of lefties in the lineup, and we have a bunch of them at the outfield spot. Tony Kemp hitting leadoff at 2,800. Seth Brown hitting cleanup lefty. Yeah. I think both of those are decent values if you want to go there.
Rooker's only $3,200. He's their big power hitter.
Yeah, Rooker you can look at. Because I was actually looking over at the Oakland lineup, and they have lefties and three of their first four hitters, and the other one that's not is Zach Geloff. So
isn't it wild that you and I are just simply looking at FanGraphs? The numbers are right in front of us. Hunter Brown against right-handed hitters, he's getting obliterated by, and he's holding lefties to like a 260 batting average and a low 300 WOBA, and yet the A's just trot out an entire lineup of lefties. It's like, guys, just look at the FanGraphs page. He's getting lefties out. He's not getting righties out. What are we doing?
Well, I mean, it is the A's, so I don't know what your options are to put at the top of that lineup.
All it sounds like is that I'm playing a three-man stack with Rooker, Langoliers, and Geloff, and I'm calling it a day.
Yeah, hopefully, Geloff gets on, and then eventually Langoliers will hit him around, and then Rooker will hit him
Rooker's hitting
around,
right behind him, so we're good. 2-5-6 stack,
Yeah.
So I'm in agreement with you there. Those are both good calls. Again, we got a couple other matchups here that we can possibly look to take advantage of. Lourdes is at 37, Fam's at 36. Both really good against lefties. They got Joey Lucchesi. Eloy is better against righties than lefties. He's $3,800 hitting cleanup. Lewis Roberts, one of the higher projected rostered outfielders tonight. You're getting Eloy at 38 against Cruz, then eventually Alec Marsh here.
Interesting. I mean, listen, I'm fine fading Alec Marsh as the long man for them. Yeah. So I can get behind that. The Tommy Pham too for the Diamondbacks, if you wanted to look there.
Yeah.
I was looking at any other values though. It's some of these are.
It's not great down here. Devin Sheets is always a home run call, $2,400. You're talking about the Alec Marsh experience there. Trent Taylor is hitting sixth. Guys hitting the ball a little bit better late, 303, 778 over the last 10 games. He has some power against lefties. Again, you look at this Brewers lineup, it looks kind of gross. Top to bottom, knowing that Donaldson's their middle of the order, Trent Taylor's in the middle of their order, but doesn't make me like Garrett anymore here. But there's some cheapies down here at outfielder you can take a look at. Joey Weimer is pretty good against lefties, $2,300.
The other name, Jesus Sanchez, is there at 2,900.
Sure,
he's always live to hit a home run, so you could get a cheap home run there if you're looking in tournaments.
I agree. All right, let's get to our calls of the day here. What's your home run call?
Home run call. You know what? I'm gonna go. No, I'll go Christian Walker.
Okay.
I was gonna go with an A.
Are you gonna go with an A? Because I'm gonna go with an A.
Go with an A.
I'm gonna go Brent Rooker.
Okay.
I think Brent Rooker gets Zach Geloff. I change it. Zach Geloff is gonna get the home run tonight.
There you go. You know what? I'm changing mine. Davis Schneider hitting another home run.
Let's ride it. Let's just listen. There aren't many days in this show that we're playing A's But if the 50% of the field is in on Hunter Brown tonight,
Right? Yeah.
then and it's in Houston too, so it's not like you have that huge, Oakland A's Coliseum that you have to deal with. Short porch and left, man.
Yeah, short one.
Like,
Yep.
that feels primed for some power here to get it going. Rooker 224 ISO against righty, so even he hitting for some good power there. All right, our contrarian stack is obviously Oakland. What's your top stack for tonight?
Top stack. I'd probably go. It's tough. I'd probably go Diamondbacks against Lucchese. Yeah. There is some. What's the latest weather for that game?
That game. So according to Roth, he says that game looks like it should be an uninterrupted 9 innings. So, take that for what what it works here. The official update on the Boston game, it says the rain is looking slower to clear than I would have liked. My official take is that we have a late start with an eventual play, but there is still some risk. So I late start feels better than a start and stop, but still some risk there. For my top stack tonight, let's go with.
I feel like you would go Red Sox if we knew the game was definitely.
I would 100% go Red Sox if I knew that game would play. You know what? Let's go with Dodgers. People are playing Snell. Let's get double contrarian tonight. Let's get some Dodgers in our lineup going up against Blake. You're right. If he walks 5, you're going to tell me he's not going to give up runs tonight.
Dude, the Dodgers have a really good a higher walk rate against the left-handed pitching. So it's risky. It's very risky.
I agree.
Listen, people are going to be playing Snell and Brown as like their 2 pitchers, and it could blow up in their face.
It could blow up in their face easy.
Obviously, they both have the talent and potential to like smash, but still.
All right, let's build a lineup. I'm going to go Pepio and Clevenger. How's that sound?
I'm good with it, yeah.
Okay. We're going to go Langoliers. We're going to go Geloff. We're going to go Rooker. We'll get our 3 righties in here. And Rooker. We had Lawler at short for some value. All right, we have $5K of play for the rest of our positions. We like Mookie. That's $4,500 a position here. What do we want? What do we
need a first, third, and outfield.
First, third, and outfield. We like the idea of potentially spending up at third.
Well, you like that third Monasterio if you want to go cheap.
Oh yeah, Monasterio is good, and that gives us what $5,500 for first. Christian Walker, I guess. 63. Have your pick, Jordan Tucker.
I mean, probably Jordan. But you could go either way there. But I think I like Jordan.
You can also, if you wanted to get Gallon, you could spend up for Gallon over Pepio here. Again, Pepio is just the contrarian play, but you get Gallon for a couple more bucks. Still gives you a $5,400 play here. Could get Jazz in your lineup.
Yeah.
Could go JD if you liked him pairing with Mookie. Could get a little Dodger stack in here. He's been hitting the ball pretty well lately.
Yeah.
So little example lineup for the folks here: Gallon, Clevenger, Langoliers, Geloff, Monasterio, Lawler, Rooker, Betts, and JD. Gets us our Oakland stack against the 40%, 50% rostered Hunter Brown. 2-man Dodgers stack: Jordan Lawler and Christian Walker as a little Arizona stack against Lucchese here. And then Clevenger and Gallon at pitching. So pretty good lineup out there. Again, the playbook's already live. If you go check out that at Fantasy Alarm by Henry Wilson, the Value Vault by Justin Vreeland's there. You can get us in the Discord if you have any questions. Be on the lookout for the weather there in that Boston game ahead of roster lock. We'll be back tomorrow. Myself, Mark Pitts, with the podcast in the morning. We'll have Colby Conway here for the live stream at 5 o'clock Eastern. Good luck, everybody, with your lineups tonight. We will catch you all later.